that looks like a freaking scout trail. But in the job, it says this is the main route to the log. Hell no, this is not the main route to the logging station. I'm getting the hell out of here. No, I don't see myself using that anytime soon. I'm not stupid. Alright guys, what is up YouTube? This must be fast. 775 Gaming come back to another episode of SNOWRUNNER. And on season 15. And today guys we are going to be checking out the brand new Freightliner Western Star dual pack. I believe that's what it's called. So yeah, we have two new trucks. I actually didn't really expect to get these two things I felt, I don't know why I thought that they were going to be coming out later or something like that, but nevertheless I'm really excited to use both these trucks. However, I do have a small confession just here at the start. I kind of lost my original recording, so we're not really I've had to re-record this episode. That's the only way of saying it. That's just it. Off camera, because the footage that I did have is completely useless now. I kind of left off from where we were in the last episode, and I finished the St. Elmo's fire kind of job, and I also completed Toxic Trail, which was like 3 chemical barrels from up here up to this place, and we also did the rock slide up here. That's actually my original FLD, and also my original 6900 is on Lake Riviere, because that's just what happened. So yeah, pretty much all that footage is unusable. The reason why is because for some reason my microphone decided it was going to screw me over and not record my audio. So yeah, oh well. But there is a small bit of silver lining, and I will get to that. But if we just take a quick look here at the two, I just want to first of all pull out the two Western Stars just to see the comparison between them, and I have to say they are pretty similar. There's not much in the difference between the two of them. If you look in the interiors, they both look, yeah, I mean, like, the interior on this is real nice. We changed truck here to the twin steer. You can see the inside, and yeah, they look pretty damn similar. They are basically the same truck. The thing you have to understand is the twin steer really is just it really is just the XD series on some steroids, really. That is the best way of describing it. But okay, let's and just one more thing, just because there are a few things in this update. We got the new log trailer that was supposed to come at like the start of this season. Double logging trailer. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm probably not going to get to use it. 25,400 for it. It is an expensive trailer, but I mean, you can haul two medium logs with it, which is pretty cool. And then also the P16 got its own custom logging thing, like completely custom thing. No other truck can attach to the P16's trailer, and also the P16 can't attach to the old one either. I was testing this. And also there is a small bug with it at the minute. If you haven't noticed it already, for some reason the old logging add-on is now beneath the truck. I don't know how this has happened, or why this is. I don't know. Like, there's two. I don't know how to explain this to someone. If they, it just. I don't know. This is what happened when I put the thing on. I guess I don't know. There's no way to explain that, really. You can see it and it looks stupid, and yeah, that's the way it is, I guess. Okay, but whatever. Let's get these two new trucks in here to the garage and let's customize them up. Okay, so here we are. We'll customize up the this guy here quickly first. I am actually going to use it just for a small task, and then I'll hop back into the other one that I have and sell this one probably. It's got your kind of standard array of things. We got the 2700T engine in this thing. I will have to talk a small bit about this here in a minute, but 2700T is a really good engine, providing it's in a truck that doesn't that's not overweight for it. I suppose is the best way to sort of take a stab at it. We can have raised on here. We got 53s and 55-inch tires. It also has its own custom set of tires. However, those tires I don't believe actually have anything particularly good about them. They're not particularly good in any sense, I don't think. And it doesn't matter anyways because we need chains. So yeah. We got your standard array of winches. We've got engageable diff lock, which you do have to install. It doesn't come with engageable diff lock. It does come with the switchable all-wheel drive. So we do have switchable all-wheel drive and switchable diff once everything's on here. We can also have a spare wheel there just on the back. We can also have what is called a wedge cap snorkel air filter sort of setup, but if you ask me, it really just looks like a whatchamacallit, just a mushroom cap sort of thing. I have two of those in there. Okay, and then we've got quite a lot of stuff going on here. In here, this thing does come with quite a reasonably long frame, so you can install pretty much anything you want. Yeah. Oh, also, they added this. This is another thing that they added. They actually made an extended water tank. Just something that wasn't there before, but there was no reason why it couldn't have been there. Also, this thing has the ability for a rear mount crane when you have your flatbed on, or any other add-on, I think. You can also do it with like the service body or fuel tank if you want to. You can have saddle high and saddle low, and we also have this thing. It's a big freaking tow truck body, and it looks amazing, I will say that. Not the most useful thing in the world, but still pretty cool, and I'm actually going to stick it on here just for the moment because I do want to just screw around with it just for like 5 minutes. Then we also have standard enough sort of sun visors here. We got some bigger ones and one with some lights in it. Nothing too fancy up there. We have a very big bull bar that you can install onto this, which is quite nice. And we have quite the array of things like horns. We got searchlight in there. It's kind of blocked by the snorkels though. We also have light bars up the top as well. We have a good few things to be sticking on the roof and around the truck if we want to. We also have flap caps, slant cut pipes, and the stock pipes. Which the stock pipes, you can't tell me that stock pipes don't look the best. Just like the punched out letters in the heat shield. That is just the coolest design ever. I love that. It's brilliant. And then you're just, your standard rims and whatnot. And if you want top color combos, it's got some okay-ish looking combo. I'm not gonna defend any of these though. They're all meh at best, I would say. And then of course the stock color combos is also a color combo by the looks of it. Moving on to the Freightliner, we'll customize it up here as well. It's got the same engines as the Western Star. However, this thing is quite a bit better in the old power to weight sort of area. We got a B plus on this thing with the top engine, and this has got an S plus with the top engine. So yeah, I will talk about that a small bit more once we get out onto the road here, or on the beaten track. We got our standard array of gearboxes. You got a raised suspension kit for this, 43s and 46-inch tires, so not something particularly tall, let's put it that way. It also has a custom set of tires, but once again, I don't believe they are actually particularly brilliant in any sort of area. But it doesn't matter anyways because we need chains. We need chains. Have I ran out of money? Oh, I have. I have ran out of money. I knew that was going to happen. Okay, well, we don't need to customize this one anyways because we're going to sell this one back. That is something I forgot to mention. We're going to use the one that I already have, and we're also going to sell this truck again here in a minute and use the trucks that I already have used. But standard rate of winches, diff lock, engageable. You have to put it on there. We have another set of snorkels that are kind of mushrooms type snorkels. Do look very nice. You do get some extra side lights on this thing when you stick them on. All-wheel drive kit that can be put onto this thing. As well as that, we also have quite a decent amount of stuff for this thing. It's not the longest chassis, but it does do the trick. This thing also has a couple of unique add-ons, including this thing called the service cab, which really it's just a sleeper, let's be honest. But it still looks really, really good. I can't explain how good that looks. It looks brilliant. And I love the fact that we can take it on and off. It looks so good. It really does. I love that kind of real kind of boxy sort of front end that this thing's got going on, and then it's kind of got another box, but it's kind of a bit more streamlined. I don't know how to explain it, but I really like the look of that. And then we also have this thing, which is cool. It's a shield and repair supplies, so it's kind of a very heavy duty sort of headache rack, nearly something you nearly see on a logging truck. Honestly, the thing that I can't get out of my head is this thing. This thing looks like it's trying to imitate the P16 to me. It really does, especially in the yellow. But it's got 360 repairs, 1 spare wheel, and 300 liters of fuel. The service cab, didn't mention it. It's 500 repairs and 4 spare wheels, so there is a lot of stuff in it. But then we have all this kind of stuff here as well. You can do a crane and a bed combo with a trailer if you want on this truck, but I'm not sure if it's advisable, just because there isn't that much, you won't have that much room with the trailer, between your trailer and bed. Moving on to your visuals, you got not too much stuff, but enough stuff, I suppose. You got some pretty nice looking spotlights, but it does take off your horns and your parking lights, which I'm not sure if I like that. I'm not sure if that's a suitable trade. Then we have our standard bumper, which is quite low, from being honest, and the two modified bumpers for this truck do actually give it a good extra bit of approach angle, which is quite nice, as they are both very mean looking. I really will say that they both look really good. Can't go wrong with either of them. Now, this is a feature I really love. Don't ask me why, I just love it. We got mirror mounted double raised beacons, which I love that. I don't think we've seen that on a truck in this game before. I'm not sure, but that's really cool. I love that. That looks so good. We also have our few different sun visors in here. You know, nothing too fancy, but it's a couple of nice ones in there. Nothing with lights on them though. Yeah. And then we have our exhaust pipes for this truck. We have, you know, our stocks, which are very nice. I do like the stocks on this. We also have back rolled. What's the difference between back rolled and out rolled? I don't really know, if I'm being honest. Sort of just a more slightly larger sort of setup, and then we have kind of a slant cut sort of setup, which does look very nice as well. And then we just have your standard rims, and that's about it. And then if we go down to color combos, you can see all the color combos here. Nothing too great in here. That one looks pretty good. The blue looks pretty nice, if I'm being honest, and the standard color is pretty good as well. But yeah, okay, that's everything in there. Okay, wait a second here. Okay, so now I'm going to get on to what we're actually going to do in this episode, because full disclaimer, I don't think we're really going to get much of anything done. But, you know, the stuff that I did do in the recording that I can't, and that I now cannot use, I will try to reference some of the stuff that I did. But first of all, importantly, importantly, we're gonna just for the hell of it, we're gonna try to use the tow truck body for this thing. As you saw a minute ago, probably the FLD 120 that I had is just up here. It still has enough fuel. I think it has like 35 liters in it or something like that. It still has enough fuel to get back down here if I wanted to. But just for the hell of it, we're gonna go up there and tow it just to see how well this add-on works. Alright guys, so we're up here, just gonna get it on like that. I did change it to night here just because I wanted to see the side lights on the Western Star here. I just wanted to see the lights on the side of it. Like this add-on, it's very nicely done, and also the LED tail lights in the back really look good as well. I will say that about this thing. Also, we got LED light bar up the top, which is just really nice. So we got the thing on there. Wait a sec. So now what we're going to do. Also, another thing to notice about this thing, we actually have anchors on this thing, like spades. So that is extremely cool. The only thing that we can actually compare this to is the repair unit or the towing kit for the Tatra Force. That is the only thing we have to compare to when it comes to this sort of thing. Actually, I need to pack the thing, don't I? No, I can't pack it yet. Okay, wait a sec. I'll just lift it up here. Okay, well, there's a problem with this thing. It's glitched through the truck. That's cool. Oh well, we'll just rock with it, see, and hope it doesn't explode or anything. Yeah, I'm sure that's fine. I'm sure it's fine. That's obviously not the way that's supposed to work. Yeah, let's just get down to the garage here and hope it doesn't explode and fly off into the distance or anything. Yeah, but it works decently well, I want to say, at the moment. The one good thing about this truck that I have to say probably makes it a whole lot more suitable compared to the Tatra Force for this sort of thing. The Tatra Force I don't really feel like the Force's repair body really worked that well ever. And the real reason for that is because, oh, truck just fell off. Well, I can't really do anything about the wheels not actually working on the thing. That is a problem. Saber, if we could get a fix for that, that would be great. Yeah, okay, there we go. It's sort of on it again. Sort of. Never mind, it just glitched through it again. Okay, just tow it. Just do it normally. It's fine, it works just as well. Yeah, the one thing I do have to say, though, is the reason why this thing never really worked as well on the Force, I feel, is because the Force has a suspension setup which is really set up for off-roading. It's got a very soft suspension to it. That's my best reason. That's my best way of describing why the Force doesn't really work that well with this sort of thing. I can already tell that this thing has a much heavier kind of more standard kind of American, you know, kind of what's it called, leaf spring kind of suspension setup to it. So it's got a much stronger rear axle setup. So it doesn't like squat as much when you load the truck up onto the back. So yeah, I would say this is pretty damn good, if I'm being honest. Okay, but we will just leave this thing in here. You know, I might actually hold on to that just for the hell of it. But for the moment, we are going to get into this guy here and try to do something productive. Let's put it that way. Alright guys, we're loaded up here and we're ready to go. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and get going here. What we're going to be doing here is we're just going to be driving up to the tunnel for Lake Riviere. That's where we're going to be going. So I did change back to daytime here just for the hell of it. And also, I was talking there about a slight kind of silver lining to this whole ordeal with my recording or whatever. And that slight silver lining, I will say, is that I went to Lake Ribieri with the 6900 XD, and it's just on the other side of the tunnel, and that's where I finished up the episode that I can't use. And basically, I realized that I was one consumable short. Once I got through the tunnel, once I finished up, I realized I was a consumable short. I had actually forgotten to bring a consumable with me. So yeah, that's the only silver lining we really have here. There is also a plus side in the sense that I believe if we get the 2 trucks out here, there are actually quite a few jobs on Lake Ribieri that we can actually do. However, I'm not really sure how much of either one have said how much of anything we're going to get done today, just because I don't have much time to do this, and I want to try and spend an equal amount of time in each cab of each truck, let's say. So yeah, speaking of being in the cab, let's actually check out the cab of this thing. It's very nice. I do like the interior of this cab. It's similar to the... Wait a second, are we getting stuck here? I don't really like being inside cabs when I'm off-roading. I will be honest about that. It is very nice in here, though. It is similar to the XD's cab, I think. But yeah, I like it in here. Where am I going? Just make sure I'm not driving off the side of a cliff or anything, you know? I can't tell as much. We got like a manual gear stick in here. We got our we got our Freightliner steering wheel. It is an older truck, but it still looks real nice inside. And also, just the exterior of this truck I really like in general. Seriously, I do really like the nice square, long nose style of truck in here. That I really do like. I do genuinely really like the style of truck. Like, the thing is I'm not from the States or anything like that, so I don't see these trucks, but I do think they look really cool. But okay, we're just gonna make our way through here. We shouldn't have too many problems. One thing that I actually kind of went into a little bit of detail for today's episode, and I was looking through things just to see, details about the trucks. And the thing about this truck is, the best way to describe it is it's kind of like the C500, except it's just that bit smaller and a bit lighter as well. In game, the C500 weighs about 15 tons, I think, in the in-game files. I'm not sure how accurate that is to real life, but this thing weighs about 11 tons in the game. So it is really just kind of like a smaller version of that thing. And the great thing is, it uses the same engines. A drawback, of course, is the fact that we do only have 46-inch tires, but of course there has to be a drawback somewhere. And to be honest, we're running the 2700T engine, 46-inch tires, got all-wheel drive and diff lock, so I still think that's a pretty solid setup, regardless of what we, regardless of kind of how big our tire size is. And even though our tire size isn't that great, I do think we have a decent amount of ground clearance in this truck. It does seem to be that way, at least, anyways. Alright, so we'll just get up here. So yeah, it does have a good power to weight. That is a really good thing about this truck. I'm trying to think of other things to talk about here. The tires, obviously, I don't think they have anything that particularly great about them. I would test them, but obviously we're in Lake Ribieri, so I really do need the benefit of the chain tires, and there's no real way of getting around that. So yeah, oh well. But anyways, we're up here at the tunnel. Let's just get through here, please. There we go. Alright, we are here. And there is my 6900 series. Okay, cool. Now I need to try and figure out what I'm going to do, really, because I still haven't figured that out. So just for clarification, the materials that I do have here at the moment on me are for this job, government support. We got 3 consumables, we got one going there, there, and there. And also Eastern Rockside, the Western Star does have 1 vehicle spare and then 2 more consumables on it. So that's what I was planning to do. So I think what we're going to go ahead and do here is we're just going to stick in the Freightliner here for the moment. We are running extremely light at the moment, so this is not really a great test of these 2 trucks' performance, but oh well. There's not much I can really do about that. I did want to try and continue on from where I was in the last episode. So we're just going to continue on here, and we're going to try, yeah. This is just my first look at these things more than anything. I might add in some clips from the recording, from the other recording, just to emphasize some of my points on these trucks, because I do believe that this thing has a pretty damn good amount of ground clearance, because I went through the ice several times when I was driving on it in the weaker sort of areas. And the thing managed to get through it pretty well. I'm not going to say it did it amazingly in every spot or anything like that, but it managed it well. So yeah. No, so then again, it is a lighter truck, especially compared to the C500. Like I was talking, there's 4 tons in the difference there, but we've got the same engine. So that is definitely something good to think about. Like the C500 is a great truck. I love using the C500. So you should have less chance of breaking through the ice here on stuff like this. But then again, if you just kind of go where the ice doesn't break, I'm usually able to pinpoint that sort of thing. You're gonna do fine anyways. Ooh, come on. Yeah, there we go. You can feel the power. It is able to put its power down, which is good. Some trucks you just won't be able to do that sometimes. Now, if I'm just going to talk about the truck itself in general, and also I need to talk about the fact that these 2 trucks were actually in MudRunner before as DLC trucks as well. These 2 trucks came from MudRunner, really. Well, not really at the same time, because they're completely different trucks. They're not the same ones that they used in MudRunner, but like these trucks were in MudRunner. The FLD and the 6900 XT were both in MudRunner. So this is kind of like nearly a homage or a callback, or like, let's bring these 2 trucks back sort of thing that's going on, which I do think is really cool. And, you know, if I'm being honest, I am more surprised more than anything that they brought these 2 trucks back, because in the case of the Freightliner, I'm going to be honest, I kind of thought SNOWRUNNER had forgotten that Freightliner existed, because we haven't gotten a new Freightliner truck in this game since the game released, which is, you know, it's crazy, but it's true. The only other 2 Freightliner trucks we have are the M916A1, which is military spec sort of thing, but it's not particularly useful, mostly because it's only really capable of having a saddle, and there isn't enough space between the big winching equipment on the back of the thing and the saddle for you to actually comfortably haul any trailers other than a 5-slot flatbed with no sideboards, because you could get caught on the sideboard. And then there's some trailers that it straight up won't attach, like the fuel tanks. You can't like the tanker trailers, the semi-tanker trailers, you straight up just can't attach those things to it, which is crazy. And then there's things like the, like the, what's it called? And then, oh no, I can't think of it. And then, well, you can actually have the yellow crane on the back of it, but that's all you can have on the back of it. So then you could attach up a red trailer like that one there, but then that's an extremely inefficient use of like a 2-slot trailer. I feel like that's extremely inefficient. Is this where I'm delivering? Wait, did I come to the right place? Wait a second. Did I do this wrong? Oh, it's the other house. Damn it. It's the other house. Okay, I need to go over to your neighbors. Sorry. And then, of course, we do have the other Freightliner truck in this game, the 11.4 SD, which I do like the 11.4 SD, but I don't use it that much. Mostly because, whilst it does have a good array of add-ons, it is kind of underpowered feeling. It's kind of like the modern version of the. It's kind of like driving a modern version of the whatchamacallit, the what's its name, the. It's like driving a modern version of the in-game International Fleet Star, because they can both do pretty much the exact same things, and they both share the same engine, so they both have the same power output. So yeah, that's my best way of describing that. Oh well, whatever. We're in the 6900 XD now, so we can get trucking with this thing. Now there is a bit of a problem here. I'm not sure how long we're actually going to last with this truck, considering we only have 98 liters of fuel in it. I actually don't know why, but I actually never refueled when I went past the garage in in this thing. I don't know why. Why did I not do that? Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. But anyways, this truck, similarly to the other to the FLD, of course, it came from whatchamacallit, MudRunner. Also, just for clarity, I have not played MudRunner. It's something I definitely should do, but should go back and play. But this was the first game that I sort of played with that was made by Saber, and I've loved playing it ever since it came out. But more importantly, this thing also came from MudRunner, or whatever it's called. Oh jeez, I can't even think. Also, we have to go up there, damn it. Yeah, so this truck also came from MudRunner, and like the FLD, I thought it was one of those trucks that Saber sort of just forgot existed. Mostly because we have the twin brother of this thing in the game, the twin steer, and we just never had this. I never really saw any reason why this shouldn't have been in the game to begin with, but it just wasn't. And that's clear. That is an extremely bad. I did not realize how bad that. I do not see how that is a viable route. Great job. The rubble's gone and access has been restored thanks to you. Here's your reward. You've definitely earned it. We'll give you a ring if your services are ever needed again. 1,040 XP and 11,200 bucks. Okay, cool. You know, I knew it was a bit narrow around here, but I didn't think it was that. That looks like a freaking scout trail. But in the job, it says this is the main route to the log. Hell no, this is not the main route to the logging station. I'm getting the hell out of here. No, I don't see myself using that anytime soon. I'm not stupid. Well, that being said, I did record a video without any audio there a minute ago, but but that was not my fault. All right, my microphone screwed me over. Alright guys, I've just accepted this job here. It's called Lost Pipe. There's 2 pipes that are lost, and then they have to be delivered to the quarry. Was that where it said to deliver them to? Quarry warehouse. Yeah, pretty much the quarry. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go up here and check this out, just because it's on our way to the other 2 houses we need to get to. Whether or not we get to the other 2 houses is another question, though. Because, of course, we are dangerously low on fuel in this thing. I will just refuel here quite quickly. This thing's roof rack only has 80 liters of fuel. That does not feel sufficient in any way whatsoever. But then again, the twin steerer has no roof rack, so I feel like I shouldn't complain too much. If we were using that thing, we would have 100% ran out of fuel by now, probably. The twin steer just chews through fuel like it's going out of fashion, like just chews through it like it was discovered only yesterday and no one's talking about and we're not in a world where everyone's worried about the environment. Oh well. Now, not to say that this thing can't chew through it either. We are using 18 liters a minute there a second ago, but like I said, this truck actually has the 2700T engine in it, same as the FLD there, same as the whatchamacallit, C500, same as, I don't know, the Royal BM, the Caterpillar CT680, which, you know, this is the engine that's in a lot of trucks, and it's a base game engine, and it's the most powerful option for quite a few trucks, I do believe. I'm not sure how many. I'm not sure exactly how many, but it is the top engine for quite a few vehicles. And honestly, the fact that this thing has it doesn't really make a lot of sense, because it's an engine that has only really been in heavy duty trucks up until now, and now we've got it in this thing, and this truck is a heavy truck. And when I say it's heavy, I do mean it's heavy. In the game, it actually weighs pretty much the exact same as the original twin steer. I have no idea why. It makes absolutely no sense. This thing, like, we had it side by side. Granted, I did have a stock one side by side the twin steer there a minute ago, but they're nowhere near the same length. The other one has an extra axle, and they're not anywhere. I don't know. They are pretty close to being the same height, but still, there's just I don't know where or how how they're so close in weight. It just doesn't make any sense. There's a pretty significant gap in the weight of the real life trucks. I believe in real life the trucks are there's about 5 tons between the XD and the twin steer in weight, and in the game it's about 3 tons. So yeah, I mean, it's a game. I'm not going to go nitpicking about stuff in a game like that, really. I mean, like, you know, things are going to be different. It's not real life or anything like that. But there is one thing I do want to nitpick, and it's the fact that in real life, these two trucks offer the same engines. However, in game, the 2700T engine, which has a power output in the game of about 192,000 torques, that is not even equivalent to the stock power output of the twin steer in the game, which is about 200,000, and it can be upgraded to about 250,000, I think. So it just doesn't make any sense. Like, why is this thing so underpowered compared to it? It doesn't make any sense. Oh well, whatever. Okay, so there's where our pipes are. Okay. Well, I'm gonna drive down here and see about picking these things up. Not sure if we're gonna get anywhere with them, but just for the hell of it, why not? We need to load some stuff. We need to get some stuff loaded up into the back of these things. Into the back of these 2 trucks, really. I mean, we can definitely get the FLD to go pick up the other pipe. I don't see why not. Come on, truck, go. There you go. And also, since this is probably still going to be more of a first look episode, I will 100% still be using these things in the next episode. We will 100% still use these in the next episode, okay? Just so people do know that. But we're going to drive down here. We're going to drive across the top here. I actually wonder, can I actually get a truck up that? I'll have to try. I definitely need to. Okay, so we drive across here like this, sort of. That's close enough. We do have 2 consumables in the way of us loading that up, but we can fit it. The only real problem is, actually, my biggest problem at the moment is turning around, I think. Technically, we can go up in this direction. However, we can't really get down onto the ice then all too easily. Because I believe it's like this, it's one of those houses, and it's that house, I think, that we're going to. Yeah, I need to think this through a bit. Alright guys, so I have that pipe loaded up there. So I think what we're going to try and do here is we're going to go down here, get the FLD. And just because I'm going to try and work a few jobs in together here, that trailer over there is part of a job, so we're going to grab that here quickly. Or, well, tow it. We're not really grabbing it, we're towing it, but you know what I kind of mean. We're going to drive up here, we're going to grab that pipe, and then we're going to see if I can actually drive up to where the, whatchamacallit is, the Western Star 6900 is, from the bottom. It looks like you can do it on the map, but I'm not sure if we can actually do it, but we'll just get over here and see, I guess. Yeah, I really can tell you just from hopping between this truck and the 6900, there is, I can feel kind of the power difference and the weight difference of the 2 vehicles. Like the 6900 definitely feels like it's underpowered. Basically, what I want to see here is if I can drive up here to get up to where it is. If I can't, if I can't, actually, I don't know what I am going to do if I can't. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see here, anyways. All right, guys. I'm back. I've got the trailer there. I got the pipe loaded up, and okay, don't like that. We're here at the spot that looks like we can go up, so yeah, we're gonna attempt it here. Might be crazy, but we're gonna try it anyways. To hell with it. It looks, I want to say it looks smooth enough. That being said, it is also quite steep, and we just got ourselves high center, didn't we? Damn it. Ooh. Just a slight back off of that. Let's go like that. There you go. Yeah, okay, we're good, we're good, we're good. Really hope that trailer doesn't get caught or anything like that. That'd be really annoying. But no, we're making it up here pretty good. You know, speaking of like slopes and making it up stuff, another drawback I found with the power to weight ratio of the 6900 is it kind of acts quite a bit like the Kenworth 963. It feels like it's got a lot of power, and it feels like it can do quite a lot of stuff when it's, you know, just on a pretty decent gradient, or on, you know, pretty level ground. But if it's on a bit of a gradient, it just kind of likes to stall. No joke. I was trying to drive up. I think there's like it's a pretty steep hill next to the garage on the harbor map, and like we were just loaded up with the consumables and the 1 vehicle spare, I think, and yeah, in the video recording that I cannot use, but I was just loaded up with about that much stuff, and the thing wouldn't go up, just wouldn't go up it. Just plain and simply didn't want to do it. Okay, so we are here now, so what I'm actually going to have to do something a bit different here. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to bring this trailer and my trailer up to the warehouse here. We're going to have to load that trailer with bricks. That's what the job the job that it's part of. That's what it wants us to do. So we'll do that. We'll bring that up to it, and then we'll kind of put it just behind the truck. I'm really afraid to try and reverse the 6900 just in case we fall off the dam. I don't have that much faith in my tight maneuvering skills. So we're just gonna do the simple thing and use this truck to switch around the cargo. Now, that being said, I don't even know if we'll make it where we need to go with this thing, because we only have 76 liters of fuel with this thing. The only reason why I want to continue in that direction that the 6900 is facing is because that's where the fuel station that's the way to the fuel station. So yeah, probably gonna need a rescue truck of some sort in the next one, probably. Oh well, I suppose that's just the way it goes sometimes. Oh damn it. Bricks don't come from the warehouse, they come from the plant. Oh man, that's a bit of an issue. That actually is a bit of an issue. Yeah, it's not that far off, but it's far enough off for me to believe we won't be able to make it back over here because we only have 55 liters of fuel. Alright then guys, well I guess the only way of looking at this is plain and simple. We're going to have to go up to the plant here with this thing. So I'm going to run it like this, pretty empty. This is the job there up in the top right that we are kind of attempting to do here. So yeah, because we do have to go up here, we are probably going to run out of fuel, which is annoying, but oh well, it happens, I guess. These two trucks do both have pretty decent sized fuel tanks. We got 310 liters and 320 in the XD series. It's not as good as the likes of the Kenworth C500, which has the same engine, but it has a 375 liter fuel capacity, which is really good. And on top of that, it has a very sizable, has quite a sizable fuel rack on it as well, I believe. Unfortunately, well, the XD series roof rack, as we saw there a moment ago, its roof rack isn't really that sizable, only 80 liters of fuel. If I'm being honest, that is a small bit disappointing. And then, well, this thing does have a pretty sizable roof rack, but then you can't use it if you have a crane installed. And crane is a pretty important modification in my opinion, so yeah, I don't think that's really much of a win or anything to brag about, really. Okay, well, we can definitely get up here to the thing, but I don't know if I'll be able to make it back. And also, I'm gonna have to finish up here in a couple of minutes. I can't keep going on, or else this video will be way too long. There'll be way too many cuts in it. And also the fact that I'm recording a day late as well, so I need to get this thing done and out. But, you know, driving these trucks, I do feel fairly confident that they are both very good trucks. For once, we have gotten a DLC pack with two trucks that are truly kind of built to kind of work off-road, and work off-road pretty damn well, I do have to admit that. And, you know, in the grand scheme of things, what more can you really ask for? These are two pretty good trucks, and I can't really complain all that much about them. They just both work really well. That's just plain and simple. Yeah. There's also a chemical barrel job there that I was thinking about doing, but I don't really think I have enough cargo slots to do that as well. Okay, we're on 17 liters, so yeah, considering we started over here with 55, there's no way we'll make it back up to him. So I do have the Earth Roamer SX up here, it's pretty much spent all of its fuel, but I mean, we could get some into the Freightliner. Some. Alright, got the thing refueled back up here with what was left in that thing, so that thing's dead in the water there, so we can't rely on that for any help if we need it. But yeah, really all I'm going to do here, if I'm being honest, I think I'm just going to drive up to where the XD is. We're going to leave this trailer at the back of it so we can tow it, and we will... Oh, wait a second. Jeez, I'm already forgetting the way back. We're going to leave this with the XD so it can tow it. I think we're going to take the consumables off the XD and put them onto the Freightliner's trailer. And once we've done that, we'll leave everything until the next episode, I think, because we are going to have to get something out to refuel both the trucks. Yeah, there's just plain and simply we need something out here. We need something out here. We need a refuel truck or something like that. But even though we didn't really get to test them that extensively, like I said, it was more of a first look more than anything. That's all this video was meant to be, and that's all it was really ever gonna be as well. I didn't really have anything set up or plans that we could do to really test them extensively, but we have been through some pretty muddy areas with the two trucks here, so I think this has been a pretty decent episode all around. I can't really complain. And like I said there a minute ago, we've gotten two new trucks that are really, really cool, and you know, for once, both of them have come to the game set up and ready to go for off-roading. Like, yes, I am referring to the fact that we've gotten the Mac Pack was the one that we got the last time, and they came into the game. Neither of them had all-wheel drive. Then the Kenworth Pack was the one before that, and that one of the trucks had all-wheel drive. So I am kind of taking a bit of a stab at those two truck packs, but at the same time, I do really love both of those truck packs as well. I don't mind a truck that is a challenge to drive, or something that, you know, makes the game a little bit more challenging, because yeah, what truck you use, how good of a truck you use in this game really does determine how enjoyable or how hard of an experience you're going to have in this game. It's the one thing that really determines it, really, what truck you're using and what upgrades you're using. You know how well upgraded of a truck you're using, and that kind of, it's really what determines your playthrough, your play style. It's what kind of truck you're driving. So yeah, even though I'm not a big fan about the power to weight ratio disadvantage of the 6900, I do both like these trucks. I just need to say that, just to make sure everyone realizes that, I guess. Okay, whatever. Let's go ahead and load these up. The 6900 looks like a nice silhouette of a truck there. It really does. Might take a picture of that. Alright guys, so there we go. I have stuff kind of set up in such a way that I don't think that trailer is going to fall off if I winch to it. At least, hopefully it won't. But yeah, that's where we're going to have to leave it for this episode. I can't really go doing much else. I don't have the time for it, and I need to get this thing uploaded. But yeah, not too bad of an episode, I guess, all in all. Was unfortunate that I lost that other stuff from my other recording, but oh well. I guess it happens to me sometimes. It just does. And I'm sorry about it. But yeah, two new trucks we got. We got two new trucks, and I really like both of them. I do. Like I said, there are some drawbacks to both of them, but there's drawbacks to any truck really, when you especially when you go comparing them to other ones. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll hopefully see you all in the next one. Goodbye.